All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back. 2 in a row. Let's talk about Anthony Smith, because guess what? Anthony Smith is back in the W column, and he looked real good, dude. Looked really, really good. Because, you know, I really, really like Anthony Smith, but I do have one question after that fight, okay? So, first of all, he beat Devin Clark. I mean, I don't think a lot of people watch that fight because it was during the Tyson and Roy Jones fight. But he beat Devin Clark. He submitted him in the first. He caught him in a triangle. Took him down, had a great takedown. He ended up getting reversed, but then he caught him in a triangle. He's like, so before the fight, you know, he had a couple losses in a row, and so he really wanted to win. And I saw him talking about how he went to a therapist. You know, the guy has 50 fights. He's 34-16, and he's 32 years old. I mean, that's crazy, man. He's got 50 fights at age 32. But yeah, he said that he's going to a therapist, and she's helping him kind of like let go of like a bunch of stuff that he was carrying around in training that was really hurting his ability to perform, is what he thinks, right? Now, I always think like when guys lose, it's like in fighting, it's amazing how decisive these things are, right? It's like you can do everything right, and you get caught with one punch, and then you go home and you tell yourself you need to revamp your whole life. You know what I mean? Like you need to change everything, right? Everything's wrong. Or you go in and, you know, I mean, you lose a couple fights and literally like your brain's spinning. It's like this, I mean, the life of a fighter is crazy. You think of like, oh man, I want to be a fighter. You're thinking of these top guys. You think about guys just a tiny bit below that and think of the roller coaster that fighters are on, man. Like you win 4 in a row, you think you're on the way to the title, you lose 2 and you're like, literally in the span of 6 months, you can go from the top of the world to the bottom of the barrel, and you're like, oh my God, everything's wrong. I have to change everything. It really is kind of like it's a gambler's paradise or nightmare, you know? But yeah, so he said that he's been going to this therapist. She's been helping him with a lot of stuff. He's been sleeping a lot better, et cetera, et cetera. And after he won, he literally like screamed at the top of his lungs, I'm not fucking going anywhere. And you think about that, like, I love that, dude. Because, like, that's what I'm talking about, where the wins and losses are so massive in these fights. The implications of a victory versus a loss are astronomical. Astronomical. And so you just put yourself in his position. He's lost 2 in a row. He's afraid. Like, he's like, I have to win this fight. I have to. And then he goes out and he wins in decisive fashion, wins a $50,000 bonus. It's awesome. I love that, dude. And he just like lets it all out, you know. And now he's in a good place. It's like when you're coming off a loss and you're training, you have this underlying like, you know, kind of like negative feeling all the time, right? You come off a win and you're good, man. You're training, you're light, you're like, you know, you're coming off a win. It's a different universe. So I'm happy for him. I'm glad. And then like Devin Clark is like one of these perfect example guys of, there are levels to this game, man. Like he was 6-0 when he got to the UFC, and since he got to the UFC, he's 6-5, and it's really crazy. I was looking at who his losses are to, and it really is just like there really are levels to this game. It's not just there's the top 5 and then everybody else. There's the top 5, and then there are the guys below that, and there really are levels to this game. His losses were to Ryan Spann, who had won 8 in a row before he lost to Johnny Walker. Jan Blachowicz, Anthony Smith, and then Alexander Rakshik, who also beat Anthony Smith. So, like, the guys that he's lost to are good, like, good fighters, you know, and he beats everybody else. It's like, it's just, there are levels to this game, man. So, I don't know, you know, he's 12-5. He's 50-50 in the UFC. We'll see how he does. I don't know. We shall see how he does. But Anthony Smith is not going anywhere. I really, really like him. I hope that he gets these wins. He's a good dude. Now, here's a big question I have about Anthony Smith, though, right? So he submitted the guy with a triangle. Okay, that's not like a super easy submission to slap on a guy. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, he's got long legs, but still, I mean, it's a medium to advanced submission in jiu-jitsu, right? So when he got in the fight with the guy who broke into his house, you know, the story was he was just smashing this guy. And he was like, it was the craziest fight I've ever been in. And I always wondered, I was like, does he not know jiu-jitsu? Why didn't he just put the guy to sleep? And after seeing that fight last night, like, he knows jiu-jitsu. I don't understand. Like, why didn't he just put the guy to sleep? I don't understand that at all. Like, how is that guy still conscious? Like, if you can get, you know, a professional MMA fighter, Devin Clark, to tap, I mean, that means he's going to sleep otherwise. So you couldn't get a 170-pound, like, meth guy to I don't understand. I've never understood that. Like, why didn't he use jiu-jitsu instead of smashing the guy's head in? I don't get it. Maybe something I'll ask Anthony Smith if I ever interview him. But anyway, that's what I've got. Subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell. Peace.